We are just a few days away from Clash in Paris, and yes, it is still hard to believe that Clash in Paris will be the final premium live event for the main roster that will air on Peacock. It is still hard to believe. However, we do have to move forward with it and simply do predictions for this PLE, which some people might believe that this is more of a PLE suited for an episode of Raw or SmackDown, but given the severity of the state of the world heavyweight title, given the state of what's been going on with the women's intercontinental title, I think we can all agree that these 5 matches that's on the card are definitely worth being on this PLE. But before we even get to it, I do have a couple of announcements to make. And this is actually on for the Yu-Gi-Oh side of this channel. First and foremost, a little later today, sometime at around 5 p.m. Pacific, I am going to be making an appearance at a card show called King Fandom, which is located on Sherman Way and Canoga, right in front of the Orange Line. I am going to be there for a few hours to potentially sell some of my Yu-Gi-Oh cards that are in my binders. So if you guys do want to, so if you guys are in that area and you guys are looking to buy cards, definitely show up there. Come, bleh, can't speak. Come over and say hi. Maybe I'll take photos with you. And I am looking to sell. That's one announcement. The second announcement actually is actually an update in regards to my PSA grades. If you guys recall, last week I got 2 cards graded over to GameStop straight to PSA. The first one was my Ghost Rare Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon Unlimited from Clash of Rebellion, and the second was my Secret Rare Elemental Hero Magma Neos, also unlimited, from Tactical Evolution. I just got the update that PSA has received my cards and are currently in the process of getting them graded. So it shouldn't take long. It may take a few weeks, but again, I will give you guys updates as they are available. So that is huge news. And on that, let us get down to business with Clash in Paris, and we kick things off with the women's intercontinental title between the man Becky Lynch and the WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella. This is actually kind of crazy because this will be Nikki's first title shot since Evolution 2018. Think about that. The first ever all-women's PLE Evolution, which took place inside the Nassau Coliseum in New York City, we saw Nikki Bella challenge Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's title, and that did not end well for the Fearless One. This time, things are different because obviously Nikki Bella has now become more hungry to be a champion than ever than ever before. And the weird thing is that this has been the best version of Becky Lynch we've seen since she was known as Big Time Bex, all the way back in 2022 when she initially turned heel, becoming Raw Women's Champion against Bianca Belair. Interestingly enough, obviously these two women are no stranger to one another. Obviously dating back to the then Divas Revolution era, where where the fans started a hashtag back then. Back then it was known as Twitter. Now we call it X. But on X, there was a hashtag that fans had made famous all over the world for the latter part of almost a week, and it was called hashtag Give Divas a Chance. And WWE actually listened, and so not only did they bring in Charlotte Flair, they also brought in Sasha Banks, and of course the aforementioned Becky Lynch. So obviously we had Team Bella versus Team Bad, and then of course Team PCB. Team Bella, obviously, consisting of the Bella Twins and Alicia Fox. Team Bad consisted of Sasha Banks, Naomi, and Tamina, and then of course Team PCB featured Paige, Charlotte, and Becky. The crazy thing is that the Divas Revolution at that time was literally the jumpstart to the amount of opportunities that we've seen women obtain over the last 7 years, like 7, 8, 9, literally the last 10 years. Think about that. The last 10 years, ever since that moment on Raw, the women's division, not just on Raw, not just on SmackDown, not just on NXT, not just on WWE Evolve, but in TNA, AAA, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Stardom, Marigold, GCW, literally every other promotion around the world, women in those promotions are getting more and more opportunities because of the Divas Revolution, because of the hashtag Give Divas a Chance had trended worldwide. Excuse me. So the fact that so the fact that women's wrestling in WWE went from women like the fabulous Moolah and Mae Young to Wendy Richter and Lanai Kai to Alundra Blaze, Bertha Faye, Bull Nakano, to Sable, to Chyna, to Trish Stratus, to Lita, to Tori, who was a part of DX for a while. Lita, I mentioned, Jazz, Tori Wilson, Stacy Keibler, Sharmell. Who else can I think of? Who else? Beth Phoenix, Melina, Mickie James, Kelly, to Natalia, who is right now the longest tenured superstar in WWE. Like, if you look, right now, she's literally the veteran in WWE. Everyone else is more of a minnow, according to her, which is crazy. But think about that, and then the fact that the Bella Twins continued that path to what we see now with women in wrestling is absolutely amazing. But yet Becky stakes claim that because that she was one of the women that main event to WrestleMania, she believes that she's become more of an inspiration than Nikki Bella. But I don't see it that way. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, Becky did main event WrestleMania. Yes, she has made history. But Nikki Bella made history by being the longest reigning Divas champion ever at over 300 days, which is something that AJ Lee could not do when she was Divas champion. So obviously both women have staked claims to the topic of who deserves to be the best. But here's the thing. We haven't seen Nikki Bella compete in the ring since Evolution last month. And at that time, she was in the battle royal to determine who would challenge Naomi for the women. Actually, let me rephrase that. To determine who would challenge for a women's championship at Clash in Paris. However, unfortunately, Stephanie Vaquer won the battle royal, but because that big Jimmy Uso had other ideas for Naomi, unfortunately, Stephanie Vaquer will not be competing at Clash in Paris. And I get that, that all the fans in Paris, France were anxiously waiting for Stephanie Vaquer to compete. Unfortunately, that is not going to be the case. But I do want to give a big shout out to all of my French fans out there. If you guys are there, let your voices be heard. Shout outs to them. Shout outs to the people in Paris. But I will say that this is going to be a very intriguing matchup. Again, they haven't been in the ring against each other in so long, but the ring rust for Nikki Bella is definitely gonna come into play. And knowing Becky, she'll find some way to walk out of Paris still the women's Intercontinental Champion. And I think that's what every single one of us is expecting. We're expecting Becky to try and walk away with the title by cheating. So my money, if I'm being realistic, is definitely on Becky Lynch. Next up, we have a very unique match, to say the very least. It is Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. Here's the weird thing about it, right? I can't speak. You look at War Games last year. Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed collided inside War Games, and it's very funny because if you guys watched Raw this past Monday, you will know that Bronson had said that he was Samoan. Roman was like, "Really? He's Samoan? Who knew? And literally told him, basically just told him, "Hey, you're my bitch, so give me my shoes and acknowledge me." Literally, that is the aura of Roman Reigns, and the fact that this all started with Bronson Reed, with the Vision and Roman. The fact that this all started going back to Seth and Roman's days in the Shield, leading to now, the rivalry is just impalpable. Yes, they have reunited a few times in the past. There's one big difference between back then and now. The big difference is that Roman Reigns, he still hated Rollins for what he did. He was able to forgive Seth because of Dean Ambrose, because of the fact that both Seth and Dean were at that time tag team champions. However, nowadays, not so much. Obviously, Dean is doing his own thing outside of WWE, and the rivalry with Seth and Roman literally literally escalated earlier this year, back in April at WrestleMania, when Paul Heyman not only stabbed CM Punk in the back, but also stabbed Roman Reigns in the back as well, thus forming the Vision with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, known as the Braun Bronze. So this is going to be a very chaotic match, to say the very least. But I can guarantee that this will not be for the fate of Heart. So who do I think is going to win? The weird thing is, knowing Bronson Reed, he'll find a way to bring in Braun Breaker to ensure a victory. Knowing Roman, he always has a plan. So I think Roman Reigns has this in the bag. Speaking of big meaty men slapping meat, this next match is exactly what we are going to get. Sheamus and Rusev one more time. This time in an old-fashioned Donnybrook. Yeah, Sheamus's match. He's won a few matches. He's won a few of these matches. He's lost a few. So this is definitely his match. But Rusev has been dominant since coming back to WWE, the Raw after WrestleMania. Think about that, guys. He's been back since April and has already been hella dominant, going, defeating guys like Otis, Akira Tozawa, guys like Sheamus, just to name a few. He's been in the ring with some of the best that Raw has to offer. And yet the rivalry between Sheamus and Rusev, this does not go back a full calendar year. No, this goes back a long time. Back to when Rusev was the United States champion the first time around, and Sheamus wanted to be champion again. They fought several times over the title. They teamed up together with Wade Barrett to form the League of Nations, which became such a unique faction, I will say. Very unique, to say the very least. But and obviously they went their separate ways. They beat the hell out of each other a few times after that. And then just this year alone, Sheamus and Rusev, they've been beating the hell out of each other for months, for weeks. And so Adam Pearce was like, you know what? Donnybrook, let's go. You two. Good old fashioned Donnybrook is happening. So yeah, big meaty men slapping meat, throwing beer, throwing Guinness pitchers, breaking tables. Sounds about right. Sounds about what you would expect with an old-fashioned Donnybrook. And this definitely is Sheamus's match, but this has been the best version of Rusev we've seen in a long time. And the last time, and again, prior to this year, the last time we saw Rusev in WWE, he got fired in 2020 during the pandemic, which proves that from that day up until now, Rusev has truly evolved and truly become even more dangerous in the ring than he's ever been before. And he basically redeemed himself. He literally redeemed himself. And if he wins against Sheamus on Sunday, there is no doubt in my mind that Rusev is in line for future title opportunities. So that's something that both men want, right? They both want a shot at championship gold. For Rusev, it could literally be anything. It could be the WWE. Sorry, not the WWE title. It could be the world heavyweight title. It could be the Intercontinental title. He could go over to NXT and go after the WWE Speed Championship for all we know. But for Sheamus, it's all about one thing: the Intercontinental title, the one title that he's never held in his career, to become a legend in WWE, which he's already a first ballot Hall of Famer. So why not end the rivalry with a victory and a future shot at the Intercontinental title? But I think Rusev. I think if I were to predict, I would say Rusev. I think yes, both men are hungry to be champions once again. But Rusev has only held one championship in WWE, and he's held that title 3 times, and that title being the United States title. Yes, he's had opportunities at world titles. He's had opportunities at tag team gold, He always fell short. So Rusev needs this match more than anything else. Speaking of chaos, Fatal 4-Way for the World Heavyweight title. Seth Rollins, LA Knight, CM Punk, Jey Uso. Not gonna lie, this is going to be very interesting for a few reasons. For one, all four men now despise one another, which is something that Seth Rollins wanted. He wanted LA Knight, he wanted CM Punk and Jey Uso to hate on each other, which is that, again, it's exactly what he wanted. So now those three could focus on beating the hell out of each other and not put their focus on Seth Rollins, which is exactly what Seth wants. Another thing is the Brawns. Even if Bronson Reed loses to Roman at Clash in Paris, both of the Brawns are going to do whatever the hell it takes to ensure that Seth Rollins walks out of Paris still World Heavyweight Champion. And think about this. This is under Fatal 4-Way rules, which means that it essentially becomes a 6-man tag. The Vision versus LA Knight, CM Punk, and Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight title. And for the challengers, it's all about who's going to be the guy to pin a member of the Vision and become world champion. It literally becomes who gets to pin Seth Rollins in this 6-man match. But the way I see it, this is Seth's first title defense since winning the title just a few weeks ago at SummerSlam, cashing in Money in the Bank. This is his first title defense, and we all know your first title defense always becomes tricky. But for Seth Rollins in this scenario, it ain't. So my money is going to be on Seth Rollins. Excuse me, but now we move into what could potentially be the biggest main event in WWE history between John Cena and Logan Paul. Though this is weird. Both these men teamed up at Money in the Bank just a few months ago against Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso back when Jey was the World Heavyweight Champion. The weird thing is that Logan was so egotistical, he did not want John Cena as a tag team partner. He didn't want to have a tag team partner at Money in the Bank. But unfortunately, yes, he did get a partner in the form of John Cena, and now these two are literally just talking shit to each other like it's nothing. Not gonna lie, this is gonna be very tricky for us as fans because John Cena, he only has 10 dates left. He only has 10. That's it. After that, that's it. So we found out that on December 13th, we will have Saturday night's main event, which we found out, breaking news. I almost forgot. Breaking news. Apparently Saturday night's main event will now no longer be on NBC. Now it will be airing live exclusively on Peacock from here going forward. I guess mainly because NBC didn't like the ratings that the show was receiving every single episode that they did. So I'm not surprised. But as far as the whole ESPN deal, let's see how long that takes, because I can guarantee you that there aren't going to be a lot of people that will subscribe to ESPN. They might just they might not even subscribe at all. Who knows? But yeah, so Saturday December 13th, Saturday night's main event will be John Cena's last appearance and his last match ever, because it will take place inside the TD Garden in Boston. So it's going to be very interesting to see who will be Cena's last opponent. We do know that John Cena is slated, according to multiple sources. Apparently, John Cena is scheduled to be at WrestlePalooza to face Brock Lesnar, to which we found out that Pat McAfee will be making his return. So that will be incredible. Can't wait to have Pat back on the commentary booth. Shout outs to Corey Graves, man. Corey Graves has been holding it down on Raw, but Pat McAfee, he's coming home. So this match is definitely going to be very interesting, to say the very least. But knowing Logan Paul, he'll try and find some way to cheat, like he's done with most of his matches. So I would say Logan Paul, but John Cena has made the best. He's made the best of all of his opportunities, and I have no doubt in my mind that this match is definitely going to be a must win for the Never Seen 17. So my money is going to be on John Cena. And with that being said, that will do it for today's video. Let me know down in the comments below your predictions for Clash in Paris. I'm very curious of what you guys have to say. And that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel, you guys want more premium live event predictions and results in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.